Hello, I'm Lauren Hubele. Welcome to Shamanism, Metaphysics, and Grace. My dear friend Jyoti Wind, my favorite astrologer and colleague, is only with us in spirit today as she passed from this world over the weekend. Many of you have been friends with her much longer than I even knew Jyoti. Our relationship began 10 years ago when I met her at a homeopathic conference in Boulder, Colorado. But it was 3 years ago that I convinced Jyoti, actually, it was May 2nd, 3 years ago, that I convinced Jyoti to begin making these recordings with me. It had taken months and months to get her to agree because Jyoti was absolutely confident that she does not do interviews. Um, I have to say, it was one of the greatest experiences of my life. Jyoti taught not only each one of us each time we met, but she taught me how to become the person that I was born to be in this world through her teachings and her sharing the wisdom teachings that she has gained over all these years. In our final interview, Jyoti discussed the influences and effects of Neptune moving into Aries. In that conversation, she said that things are going to be happening a lot quicker than we're comfortable with. Jyoti, this happened much more quickly than I'm comfortable with. And yet I know this was your choice and your soul's path. Jyoti reminded us in this conversation that Aries is about us and what we're willing to take on and usher in this new way of living together. She spoke about a different type of call to arms, referring to our own arms and the way we could link our arms together with one another to form this new world. Although I had hoped Jyoti would be around much longer to help me interpret the times that we're in, I know that her energy and her spirit will ever be present. I want to make sure you know that there's a wealth of Jyotiisms in this particular playlist here. There are 85 recordings that Jyoti and I've made over this 3 year period. My push to get Jyoti to begin these recordings was because I saw this wealth of wisdom and knowledge she had, and I didn't want her to pass from this world without capturing it in a container. My Cancer Rising is all about creating safe containers, and I hope that in these 3 years, I help create a safe container, not only for Jyoti, but for each of you. I hope that someday this repository can be listened to by her grandchildren and maybe her children when they have passed on a little further in their grief process. Jyoti's wit and wisdom comes through in such a remarkable way in each one of these recordings. And I also wanted to let you know that I obviously won't be recording any further on here, but there's a couple of Jyoti's recordings I want to point you to. The first is I would suggest that you re-listen to our last recording, particularly the last half, where she really becomes full on Jyoti, as I would say, and sharing just one pearl after another. The other, if you go back further, quite a bit further, 3 years into our work, Jyoti and I did a series on what is a good death. And I think we all could gain a lot of wisdom from those particular recordings in these days. Although I won't be here adding to this body of work, I am working on a small project still on YouTube with a group of dear women friends. And I would want to invite you over to this Coherence Lab. I want to send a heartfelt invitation to you. No, it won't be Jyoti and I sparring back and forth about astrology, but we are exploring the path to coherence and looking at a number of different wisdom systems, including astrology, human design, the I Ching, and my work with the Gemmo extracts. It would mean the world to me if you feel like dropping in and bringing your presence and your gifts there. And for now, I usually close this with asking Jyoti if she had anything else to share. And if you take the time and look at our last recording, you would hear Jyoti say, you know what, Lauren, I'm just so excited. And I would love for us all to step into that feeling with Jyoti and be excited about this future we're stepping into together. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your support this past 3 years. It's meant the world to me.